Tim Noteboom made his way up to the Red River Valley Fairgrounds.
I did. I found my way in here.
You're going to fix anything up while you're here?
Well, yeah, I'm looking at a lot of stuff.
It's all been fixed.
Yeah, that's good.
Because we've talked to Chief Barron, and they've done all the inspecting.
All the safety checks and everything.
All the safety checks. And in fact, Steve made an interesting point because he's like, these rides are inspected every single time they get to a new place. If you go to an amusement park, they're inspected once a year.
Oh, really?
And he's like, we have to inspect these. We have to go over everything. And I was like, that's a really good point. I had never thought about that. But everything's fixed up and ready to go here at the Red River Valley Fairgrounds.
It looks like it's going to be a great night.
Yeah.
A little humid, but it'll be fine.
Yeah. It's summer in North Dakota. You can't complain.
We have our first text in for Mr. Fix-It, so we'll just get right into that. Let's say this person says, let's say a skunk had burrowed under the front of their home and they needed to fill that hole with something. What should they be filling that with to ensure that animals can't get access to the hangings of the house?
Let's ask a few follow-up questions.
I don't know if they're still listening.
No, I don't know. Are you still listening are you not?
Okay, we had a skunk that burrowed underneath our house.
And
we
died.
pulled the carcass out yesterday.
Okay.
I need to know what I should put under there.
Well, I mean, you can fill it back in with dirt, obviously, but a lot of times rabbits are really good at this. They dig straight down. They won't back up at all. They'll come up next to the building or next to the sidewalk or next to the shed, dig down and go underneath. They won't back up 6 inches and dig down. So the best thing to do is bury some hardware cloth or like chicken wire or something, some metal, and then bend it back so it comes out about 6-8 inches and bury that a few inches. So when they dig down to it, they run into that metal, that mesh. They won't back up and dig again. They'll say, I guess I can't get under here. So that's a good thing to do around a lot of your storage sheds, even around your decks if you have things climbing under your digging under your deck. Just take some hardware cloth, dig some dirt out, and then bend it at a 45-degree angle and come out 6, 8, a foot, something like that. And that'll keep those animals from crawling underneath there.
Do you think there's a family of animals living under JJ's house? Or, I'm sorry, the texter.
The texter.
Do you think the texter has a family of skunks?
Let's keep their, do you think JJG's house, wait, that might be too obvious. Do you think Jay Gordon's house
might have more than one?
Yeah. Does he have more than one?
Typically, unless they've been in there a while, if it's just something that recently happened, someone's dug underneath.
We actually don't know. This could be a year and a half saga.
Year deep into it. Might have condos. We're not sure yet.
Okay. So JJ originally thought he had dirty sock syndrome. Don't you remember that?
I remember that one.
And then he got it all cleaned out. And then fast forward to this spring, they were like, actually, it's a huge gas leak.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah, I remember that one.
And now he's like, wow, I smell the skunk again. I'm going to take this gas meter that I bought.
I bought a really nice one.
Oh, yeah. A nice sniffer, huh? Yeah.
I spent a lot of money on that gas detector.
Like $200. Because he was like, am I crazy or am I still smelling the gas? So I better buy this really expensive gas meter.
Does it detect skunk smell?
Well, turns out it doesn't, but I can look with my face.
Right. So he was back out again going, I bet this gas leak is still here. And while looking for the gas leak, found a skunk.
Found a little skunk in a barrel.
Found a dead skunk, like Wizard of Oz style on his house, like half in, half out.
So what killed this skunk? You didn't investigate?
Maybe the gas
leak.
There it is.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It chewed through
the circle of life.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
so
do like that
up,
tip, though, about your sheds and your decks.
Yes.
Because no one wants to be the bunny habitat on the block.
Everybody likes the little bunnies. They're cute and things, unless you've got a lot of flowers and they chew your flowers off. So a lot of people are trying to figure out how to make them go to the neighbors, which basically is if you can make your deck or your outdoor shed, rabbit-proof from them living underneath, then they move on to somewhere else.
Yeah. I've just accepted that I'm growing a bit of a salad bar in the front of my house, and that's fine, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I don't know. I'm giving up on trying to keep them away at this point. My neighbors take videos of the rabbits eating my plants and sends it to me. I know. I'm growing a salad bar for the rabbits. I don't know what to say. It just is what it is at this point. Have you had rodent problems like this?
We've had rabbits, in our neighborhood. We're in Moorhead, just off of the Meadows Golf Course, and there's a lot of cottontail rabbits around there, and we do get the same thing, and we've noticed that they like a certain kind of flower more than others, and so Tammy, in her wisdom, she chooses flowers that they don't like as well.
Really?
So
Which ones? Because
you'd have to ask her.
Our neighborhood rabbits are even eating the marigolds, and I thought that was like the flower that rabbits hated. But
we have a lot of daylilies around the front of our house, and they don't eat those.
You're right. They don't really eat on the daylilies,
they don't
do
eat
they?
And I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's green.
They
It's
love
a nice flower.
the sweet potato vine. So if you're looking to feed your bunnies, that's what they love eating out of my pots.
Tim, let me ask you a question when it comes to decks, because I feel like this is the summer everyone's trying to do a do-it-yourself deck.
Yep.
Right? So if you have a deck that's not it's raised a little bit, but it's virtually ground level, right? Like maybe just a step up.
Sure.
What should you do to prep under that area? Let's say it's just been lawn up to this point.
Yeah, if you've still got access to underneath, or before you even put your topping on, or if you're going to change the deck topping, typically you want to adjust your grade first. First and foremost is adjust your grading so the water will flow away from the house and out from underneath that deck. And then you can start with landscape fabric. Anything like that would anything to stop vegetation from growing. Most of it's going to be dark underneath there, so there's not going to be a lot, but there still can be some weeds and some other stuff you don't want underneath there. So I would put landscape fabric, and then I just put a light layer of P-rock or any type of rock you can get a hold of just to hold it in place.
Okay.
And that would keep it pretty well clean underneath there, keep most of the anything from growing, anything, and then it's also going to help shed that water away from underneath the deck.
What do you think of these modern deck screws?
I really like the new fastener systems. They have so many hidden fastener type things. They've got tools that will help you do a tongue and groove type ones that will bury those fasteners, and they have plugs that go in the holes, and most of them are not straight Phillips, or obviously not a straight bladed screw anymore.
Which is really nice.
Which is really nice when it comes time to take them out, or if you need to replace a board, you can still get some grip on that screw head if it's a torque. Sometimes a lot of them have the square heads still, and those are pretty popular, but a lot of the torque heads are what a lot of people are going to.
Folks who are out there building their own deck, checking with their local municipality is probably the best bet, right? Because there's a difference between, like, if you put that ledger board on and connect it to the house versus freestanding,
correct.
Right?
Most municipalities, Fargo and Moorhead, are just a little bit different, but not a lot. If you do connect it to the house, typically you're required to have footings under the remainder of that deck. If you just place it up next to the house, within a half inch or as close as you can get it, or butt it up against tight if you'd like, then you can be a free floating deck. You can just put concrete blocks underneath there, so you don't have to worry about digging down 4.5, 5 feet and putting a concrete footing or a helical pier or something like that. But the minute you attach it to the house, then typically it's supposed to have a footing so it does not move.
Okay. And of course, you just check locally,
yes.
Right?
Yep. Check with your local building codes. They're pretty easy to figure out. They've also have people that you can just call and ask them a quick question. They're going to say, "Yep, you're gonna need footings," or "No, you'll be fine." If you do just place it on the ground and have concrete blocks, they can move. Obviously, they can move seasonally, but then if you're that short to the ground, you can just go up and put a car jack underneath one side if you need to go up or down with it a little bit and shim it, and you'll be good for another couple years.
What about those folks out there who are like, okay, listen, I'm going to get this project done, but I'm not sure what frost depth means. And so when they say, hey, the code is you need to go a foot below frost depth, what does that actually mean for someone who's out there pouring a footing?
Yeah, most of the time, Fargo Moorhead, you're going to be down close to 5 feet in that range to get below frost footing. And it changes with the region. As we go south, maybe down to the South Dakota border, it might even change a few inches down there. And down South Dakota, it's going to be less again. So depending on where our listenership is right now. So that's why you do want to check with your local code, because they're going to say, yep, you've got to go 54 inches or you got to go 60 inches or whatever it is to the bottom of that. And a lot of that's going to typically require a permit from the city, because they're going to come out and inspect that hole when you dig it before you even fill it up. And they're going to stick a tape measure down there and say, okay, yep, you're good. And then you're going to pour that.
Do you have experiences in the difference between like regular concrete, the quick, set concrete, and then that new foam stuff?
The foam stuff I've never used. I'm really intrigued by it.
But you're a little gun shy on it.
I am.
I am too.
It seems that seems too easy. Whenever something is too easy, I always kind of question it, and I want to see it in practice before I actually use it. I have used the bag that you just pour in the hole dry, and you just add water to it and just let it set up. I did we've got a large patio umbrella that has a base on it. Originally, it came with a base you put cinder blocks on, and it's a counterweight type thing. And once we got to deciding where it was going to be, then I got a base that we dug a hole, and it didn't have to be, it went down 3 feet, I guess I dug a hole, and pretty good size, and a bell bottom to give it some more structure. But then I did just pour the dry bag of concrete mix in and poured a bunch of water on it, and it actually worked out really well.
A bell bottom, am I guessing it's that shit, like essentially you go down, but then it flares out at the bottom a little bit?
Bottom, yep, to give it a little more of a footprint and keep it from tipping a little bit, things like that, rather than just a straight hole. Yeah, and only because I didn't go down to frost footing on that, because we pull the umbrella off in the summer or the winter time and store it, and it's just a little piece of concrete, and basically it's a counterweight down there. So, yeah.
So do you have any kind of is there like a tubing in there at all, or are you just what makes the thing for your
or what
post?
Makes it stay? Because every umbrella that we've bought has flown away on us and ripped or done something crazy
this one
like that.
The one I have, I had gotten it at one of the home and garden shows here.
Yeah.
And their base that you concrete in has a part that you actually put in the concrete, and it has I guess different ways the concrete gets in and holds this thing, but it only sticks up about 4 inches. And then it's got a base that you put on with a 2-foot extension with a sleeve. Basically, it's 2-foot sleeve, and it's a large square, 3x3 sleeve that the umbrella slips into in the summertime. It
doesn't go anywhere.
Clamps in there. It doesn't go anywhere.
Wow.
We have it out most of the summer. We collapse it and tie it up. It's still the patio umbrellas that you have on your tabletop. Even if you collapse them down,
they all go flying.
The table tips over,
and
the umbrella goes away.
It never works how you want it to.
No.
Those dang umbrellas never work how you want them to.
So you need to properly ground them, we'll call it, weight them down, and then put them away in the wintertime. You can certainly use them, all summer.
What's amazing is you can be an incredibly intelligent person like my grandfather and write your name on the inside of the umbrella. And we used to be like, why would you do that? He put his name and then he put his phone number. Well, it's because it would end up 6 houses down on the beach, and now they say, we're going to bring Jim's umbrella back to him.
It's like the Dayton's balloons.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly, right?
Or Macy's balloons or whatever.
From the very first Macy's Day Parade.
Macy's Day Parade.
If you have questions for Mr. Fix-It, Tim Noteboom, you can text those into 35270. You can also get us on our KFGO studio line, 701-237-5948. We are on a weekend where people are kind of, they're cautiously optimistic that their house isn't going to have a fire in it, right?
Right.
Tell me what you know about fire extinguishers and what you like about them for safety around the house.
What I like about them, and if it was in my house, we have just the common, the ABC one. It covers all of the fire categories out there, and we keep it in the pantry. It's close to the kitchen area, because I believe if we have a fire in our house, it's either going to be in the kitchen or the furnace room or the garage. It's typically not going to start in the bedroom or an office, because we don't do candles. We do electric little battery candles, things like that. So our potential for a fire other than in the kitchen or the garage is pretty minimal. It can still happen.
Okay.
But we keep one pretty handy out there because of a grease fire in the kitchen, because we do like to cook a fair amount of fish and some other oils and things like that. And But
Yeah, we know Amy learned the hard way.
yeah, don't drop that turkey in there.
What fire extinguishers do. Oh, no, that's a different.
Oh, that was the.
I have all kinds of kitchen stories and fire extinguisher stories. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I see those, you see advertised some of these fire blankets for the kitchen.
Yes.
And again, I've never seen one in play or in practice. So other than seeing them on the infomercials or seeing them on commercials, it's like, God, it seems pretty slick. If that really does work. So sometime when you get an opportunity to have a fireman in here from the city of Fargo or Moorhead on your show, you can ask him that question.
Well, dang, we just had Steve here. We should have been asking him fire questions.
And, I know they do it like for elementary schools. They should do this for adults. I'd love to come see like first of all, I'd love to
a fire demo?
Fire hose. Like, I'd love to do that, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, wouldn't it be neat, like as an adult, to be able to go and then they could teach you about all those important things?
Yeah, well, I know the city of Moorhead provides it because I've spoke to them for my work, but and I'm sure Fargo does too, where they will come out to a facility or a business and do instruction on fire extinguisher usage.
Yeah.
So they start a fire. They hand you the fire extinguisher. They give you a little tutorial and then hand it to you, and you put out the fire. And then they start it up again. They hand it to the next person. So it's really kind of fun.
Mr. Fix-It Tim Noteboom is on the air with us here. We're taking your questions as well. You can text us at 35270. But any good fishing stories?
Well, fishing is actually pretty good right now. It really helps if we can get some stable weather, because every time we get a storm come through, it kind of disperses them a little bit, but then they climb back into it. And so from what I'm hearing, there's a lot of fish being caught. So, yeah, get yourself out there this weekend.
Where's the sweet spot? Where are you going?
Grass, mud, long, blue lake. Yeah.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
I love it. What are you fishing for this weekend?
Most of the time, I'm a walleye fisherman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
My kids caught a 28-inch walleye this week. They're pretty pumped up about it. Pretty excited.
Good.
They threw it back. They're hoping it's going to get bigger and they can catch it again next year.
Yes.
Yep.
Perfect idea.
Yep. They're pumped about it. They're like, we're going to throw it back. It's going to make lots of other walleyes, and then we're going to be able to catch it next year, and it's going to be 29 inches long. And I was like, that's the spirit, you guys. That's what we like. Because also at 28 inches, it's not a good eater.
No.
It's a throwback.
It
and
is.
let it get a little bit bigger and let someone get a trophy in a year or two.
Yeah, I would never hold it against anybody to keep one that size if they want to have a true trophy.
Sure.
But yeah, most of the time, anything over 21, 22, they're the great breeders, the ones that are going to give us more fish.
Exactly, bingo.
Back,
You gotta save those like 17, 18s for the eaters.
Yeah.
Those are perfect.
They clean the easiest.
Yeah, they clean up well. They taste good. This is Mr. Fix-It Tim Noteboom on KFGO. He takes your home maintenance and home repair questions once a month. It's usually the first Wednesday of the month. We were busy out at Trollwood, so we pushed him to Friday when we're live out here at the Red River Valley Fair. Okay, so what was the text that came in, JJ?
This question for Mr. Fix-It, could you explain what an airlock is in the kitchen sink drain pipe? How do you fix it?
Airlock. Well, an airlock is when air gets trapped in that drain and has water on both sides, and water can still trickle by it, but it's still got this big bubble of air sitting down there. The easiest thing to do if you know what's in your drain, usually it's going to be in the P-trap, because that's where we've got water sitting in. It keeps the sewer gas from coming back into the house through the sink. I would take a plunger.
Okay.
And you can just take a household toilet plunger most of the time. Put some water in the sink and let it accumulate up there a ways, and then use that to help force that down. It usually will push that bubble through or break it up enough that it'll burp a little bit or push it down the drain or get to the vent.
Did I do something wrong if I get an airlock or
something
like that?
It's just going to be it's kind of like if you drink soda too fast or pop too fast, you get the burps, the air in your gut and you burp it out. Well, that's kind of the same thing. It gets trapped down there. It doesn't make it to the vent, or it doesn't come out the top side. So.
Okay, I can live with that.
Simple.
I can deal with that. What about those folks out there who have a gurgling drain?
Usually gurgling drains are similar to an airlock, but usually gurgling drains are caused by insufficient venting. In the winter, we get a lot of that when you've got frost on the vents or it gets blocked with snow, and you flush the toilet, and as it finishes, you hear this glug, 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 and typically that's a sign of a restricted vent. And it can happen if your house isn't venting properly in the summer. It can still happen because some of those vents can get plugged by birds, by debris, by nesting or critters.
I imagine if you have a tree that hangs over your house, maybe some of those limbs have
some
kind
unique,
of
Yeah, there could be some unique circumstances that something has fallen in that vent. If you live in a early 1900s house that maybe wasn't properly vented, like we have today, some of those vents can collapse, or they just don't have enough venting. You may have a sink or toilet that's maybe not even vented.
Yeah.
And that happens quite often in some of these older homes, but they can be retrofitted and you can put a vent in them. It's not the easiest thing to do, but that's going to be the big thing, is just make sure we've got clear venting.
Yeah. The gurgling, a drain at our office gurgled and then the power went out. So no overlap there, but it did all happen at once the other day, and I was like, I don't know why that freaked me out, but those two things shouldn't happen at the same time. I was worried something larger was happening.
I heard a really weird thing once where somebody was doing they've got the copper pipes that bring the hot and cold water up to the sink in their house, right? And they had wet hands because they were doing some plumbing, and they touched it and they got a nasty kind of shock from it. And they found out that it had been grounded, like the wires had been grounded to the copper pipes there.
Yep.
Is that something that you see commonly?
Yeah, because typically when we wire a house today with an electrical panel, they want two sources of grounding, and they'll usually drive a ground wire, which is a big copper rod, and then attach a grounding wire to it. And the second thing is they'll go over by the water meter and then strap on a ground wire to that also. So probably in this instance, I'm guessing they just went to some drain pipe or went to the water heater and got onto that one instead of going to maybe a drain line. I went on supplies and they got something that way. So that probably is something I would change real quickly.
Yeah, both an electrician and a plumber involved, or do you think just an electrician?
Electrician will figure that out. He'll figure out where that ground shouldn't be, maybe relocate it.
We don't really talk about this enough, but I feel like if you've been in your house for 20 years, you know the eccentricities of that old girl, right? But did you ever, when you were doing home inspecting, did you ever get a call from someone who's lived in a house for a long time? They're like, listen, we need a home inspection done because we just don't know what to expect from the next 10 years.
Yeah, I've had a few of those over the years when they just want to have fresh eyes, because everybody gets blinders when they live in the house after about 10 years. Amy's nodding her head. Yep. And it's because you come home, you walk in, and you do your thing. You go to the kitchen, you go to the bedroom, you do your thing. You forget to look at all the little details. So having someone come in with very unbiased eyes and just spelling it out, looking top to bottom and all the details, that's definitely worthwhile, because then they can give you, like you said, a little heads up.
Sure.
What to expect going down the line. And then I did quite a few of them for people thinking about putting their house up for sale, so they'd know what they were up against, putting it up for sale, and what they should fix or what they should address prior to that. So that's always a good time to get a hold of your realtor or your home inspector and say, hey, I'm thinking about putting it up for sale, or I just need a refresher on my house. I just need a clean set of eyes, and tell me what's going on here.
Mr. Fix-It, Tim Noteboom, is with us until 2 o'clock today. If you've got a question for Mr. Fix-It, 35270. It's an easy way to text in, or you can get on our KFJ studio line, 701-237-5948. Tim, oil stains in the garage on the concrete. Is there anything that we can do to get those cleaned up?
Well, yeah, they make some oil, stain remover, things like that. A lot of times you're going to look at some sort of a degreaser or de-oiler. Dawn soap works really well on degreasing everything.
Does it really?
Yeah.
So you could just use Dawn dishwashing soap?
You can start with scrubbing with that and doing something less evasive, because then you start getting into some harsher chemicals, and eventually you can get it off, but you might take a little bit of that finish off the concrete. So start with something basic like the Dawn soaps. They have some green, environmentally friendly things that might work on some of that. But if they've been there a while and they're etched in or they're dug into that concrete, then it's going to take a little more aggressive approach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say you're someone who's like, I'm gonna get some stuff painted, right? Like you're gonna, or even stain, but you've had your grill in that area and some grease stains. Would you be worried about staining or painting over anything that has some of that grease?
Yeah. When we talk about repainting or restaining a deck or a house or a shed or whatever it is, prep work is the main key to everything. Even just a little light layer of dust is going to stop that paint from adhering well. So yeah, you want to clean it. You want to make sure all the dust and dirt is off, and then if you got to go deeper, if there's grease on it, and grease on vinyl siding or metal siding is pretty common when you're grilling right there. You get some grease splatters. So that's a pretty good use of that Dawn dish soap and water, and it'll help cut through that grease and clean it
Dawn
off.
does everything.
It does. They clean ducks with it. It's got to be good.
Do they really? Is that what they clean?
Yeah.
Like ducklings.
Oh,
Duck
I was
baby
like,
ducklings.
not your duct work. They don't clean with Dawn.
I'm sure you could.
Like,
There might
wild.
be a pro Dawn duct
Wow.
cleaning.
No.
Duct. I thought you meant duct. I was like, what?
No.
I was like, how?
Ducklings. Quack, quack.
Ducklings.
Quack,
Got
quack.
it. Got it. Okay, this is Mr. Fix-It. Hey, we actually are going to be visiting. We were just talking about it, but it is July now. We've got a live show coming up with you
Yeah,
pretty
we're
soon.
excited about it. Yeah, we've got a car show from the Classic Car Club, and then also we have the front fenders playing.
Yeah.
Oh my
And,
gosh,
yeah.
it's going to be a whole night.
And we have Roger, the owner, is going to be grilling up hot dogs and brats to hand out to anybody. Brats, chips, water.
is the
awesome.
public invited?
Yes.
Okay, so this is
Yes.
at Farmstead Living
Yes.
in Moorhead.
South Moorhead. Yep,
South
3200 28th Street South. Yeah.
And it's going to be July 15th?
Wednesday, July 15th.
Okay.
It was weird because when we got the request, it was like, that's not a Mr. Fix-It Day.
Right, we
We're
thought
like,
it was
no,
for
you're just
Mr.
inviting us
Fix-It.
out to a party. That's
To a
even
No,
party.
we're going
Yeah.
to a party. I love it.
Yeah.
Is this the first year you guys have done
It
something
is.
like this?
It is. And
Very
hopefully
cool.
it'll go well, and we're
Yeah.
looking to make it maybe an annual event.
That's fun. Invite all the public out. Hopefully it'll be a beautiful day to be outside
Yes.
too. And yes, I love that.
Yep.
Very cool. So the public is invited. What time do things kick off at Farmstead on that day?
I think the music is going to start at, I believe, 1:30,
Okay.
and it's going to go till about 2:30 or 3.
Nice.
The cars will be out there before that, and then obviously the food will be going before that.
What a
so.
great idea
yeah.
to have a car show at the same time.
Yeah.
Because everybody likes to
Everybody likes
look
to come
around.
and look at classic
Yes.
cars and then
Yes.
have some music playing. We'll have tables and chairs and a big tent set up for
Are you
shade.
a gearhead?
No, I grew up with wood in my hands, wood and hammers and nails. I never held a wrench or anything until my adult life, and I'm just not very good at it. I'm not comfortable working on an engine.
Hey, listen, you built that amazing Murphy bed, okay?
Yeah.
You don't have to also know oil changes, man. This is Mr. Fix-It, not the mechanic.
That's
who's
right.
in.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm curious about this too. While we have a couple minutes left here, a lot of people are going to be out there, and this is a weekend when everyone kind of gloats about whatever project they've got going on, right?
Yep.
That little thing that they're doing, that they're getting done, they're getting taken care of. I have to repaint metal railings as well as wood posts in front of my house.
Okay.
And it's been peeling now for
spray
like 3
paint
years.
that?
Well, I don't want to spray paint because they're spindly little posts.
It's going
and
to take forever.
do I need to pull all of that stuff off? They're bolted on. Do I need to pull them off? Or as long as I do a really good job?
I think that, again, the prep work, if you're going to paint metal, anything metal, cleaning it, but then also getting a product to etch it a little bit, and it might be like an acid wash or something that's going to create something to bond to.
Okay.
And then that paint will stick way better, and it'll last way longer.
Okay.
Than just trying to paint it over the top of what you got.
Tim, I'm painting both metal and wood.
Yep.
Do they make paints that are interchangeable, or am I having to switch them out?
Nope, I would use the same kind of paint. It's going to work on both. Prep the metal a little bit more than you would the wood. You can just clean up and scrape any loose peelings that you might have. but I'd use the same paints on both.
There are a couple areas that are kind of gouged. You know, we had moved a couch at one point and, put a deep gouge in there. Can I use wood fill in there if I'm going to repaint it? Would that work?
Yeah. Yep.
Really?
Put some wood fill in there. They make many kinds. Even Car Bondo was a very popular one. Regular Car Bondo, because it's sandable, paintable, and it's pretty hard stuff.
Okay.
And it got good adhesion rate.
I mean, I've needed to do this project for like 4 years, and so my wife was finally like, this is the summer you're going to get this done. You're going to get it done for sure.
Yeah.
No, this is if you want to take some advice, if you haven't done it by the 4th of July, it's not happening this year.
See, that's the thing, is I do have...
That's my theory. If we didn't get it done by the 4th of July, we're done.
I've got 11 hours.
You've got 11 hours.
I've got 11
if
hours.
it's not done in 11 hours, it's next year's problem.
There you go.
Yep.
I mean, I might get it done. You never know. Hardware stores are open today.
I like that theory, though. Like, if it's not done by the 4th of July, we're just
Then
going
it
to
can wait till next.
It can wait till next year.
Yep.
If you didn't get it done in the first month of summer, meh. Hold off till next year.
Yeah.
Hold off till next year.
What do you think about
What's
a
another
paint
year?
sprayer for this project?
I like that idea.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yep. It's gonna, especially if you've got intricacy in spindle railings or any tight spots. It's gonna be hard to get everywhere.
Once you use a paint sprayer once, like, are you locked into that color forever?
No.
Really?
No.
You can clean them out?
You can clean them out. You can run paint thinners and turpentines through them.
Okay.
Once you dump your canister out or
Yeah.
back into the container, rinse that out, and then actually put some, whether it's turpentine or paint thinner, and then run that sprayer. It'll just clean out the nozzles and jets. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, good to know.
Do you like you've worked with paint sprayers before?
Yeah.
Okay. Any particular brand that you like? Anything like that?
No, I haven't. I guess I don't have a brand favorite now.
Yeah, we got one to stain our fence, and it was amazing. It was great. Like, it was worth it. There's a lot of fence.
There's a lot of fence, a lot of, like I said, a lot of detail in that. Yep.
I want to invest in good tools because, boy, oh boy, I just bought a framing nailer the other day. First of all, I kid you not, Tim, that framing nailer must be 3 feet wide. It is, like, holding it, I have to have 2 hands and, like, a shoulder into it, and it is just the biggest piece of garbage you can ever imagine. And I'm so mad at myself, and I still spent, like, $180 on it.
Dang.
And so I'm like, gone are the days of where I'm going to buy the cheap tools. I'm not going to buy the cheap screwdrivers where the heads go bad so fast. Right. I'm going to buy good tools from here on out.
Yep.
There you go. Now he's
unless
unless
I'm desperate and there's only a gas station open and I spend $9 for a drill bit.
Right.
Which will happen eventually.
It will.
Tim Noteboom, thanks for another great edition of Mr. Fix It. We're going to see you. Well, we'll see you in a few weeks. Well, not even. Almost
a few
weeks. Yeah, a week and a half. It'll be July 15th. We'll be at Farmstead Living in South Moorhead. You can join us out there. We'll tell you all about it when we get there. And Tim, thanks so much.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Great to be out here.
Yeah, it was beautiful. We'll check in with Tyler Axtis. He's here at the Red River Valley Fair Studios in just a moment on KFGO.